Hi, I'm Arch1 saying welcome to a Rule of Thirds educational short. In this episode, what I'm going to do is give us a brief overview of the new Adobe Photoshop Lightroom 3. So without further ado, let's actually launch into Lightroom 3 so we can kind of talk about it a little bit. Alright, so one of the main fundamentals that happened with Lightroom 3 is the fact that Adobe have actually gone back to a drawing board. And what they've done is enhance the coding, or the building block of the program really, so that it responds to the user much faster. For example, as you can kind of see here, when I scroll through it, the previews, the thumbnail previews are now generating much faster. So what happened is they have gone back to optimize the code for less latency and more efficiency. What that means is that there's less slowdown and the program is going to run much faster, much quicker, and it's going to be more responsive to the users and to us in general. Now, the other big thing too that I'm very happy to report is the fact that Lightroom 3 can now handle large catalogs like it couldn't do before. So again, you know, part of the coding enhancement was also for Lightroom not to slow down when you actually have a large image catalog, and that's actually one of the plus here too of Lightroom 3. So beside the coding adjustment, there's also a new camera raw, or the new demosaic algorithm, or the camera raw interpolation method, or the algorithm to interpolate your raw file, to put it simply enough. And what happened is the enhancement made in that area primarily, it's astonishing. The big enhancement made in that area is in the area of noise reduction. Now, what I'm going to show you right now is an image, and I'm going to pull it up on side by side here to kind of give you an idea. Okay, I'm going to hide everything and we're going to zoom in on it side by side here. Now we kind of take a look here. The image is actually on the left hand side of my screen right now, the image where the mouse is pointing to. That's actually the image that is processed with the process version 2010 versus the image that's processed with the process version 2003. Notice how the grain, when you've actually photographed an image this high ISO, the grains are interpolated differently. What's even better is that, and I'm going to show it to you right now, is the fact that with process version 2010, the new process version here, the main benefit is that you can actually reduce the noise by so much and actually have it looking very nice like that and still retain a lot of the detail in the image, as you can kind of see here. So the noise reduction algorithm in process version 2010 has dramatically improved. Now, if you'd like to learn more about what I'm briefly covering here, we're going to post more videos, shorts on our website, so that you can actually go and click and learn about a particular tool or a particular new features in depth. Alright, now the other thing too that I like to go over is that there's been certain adjustment to make Lightroom more intuitive. For instance, let's go into the development module. Now in the development module, certain things has changed here and there a little bit. For instance, one of the biggest changes is, for example, when I click on basic, when we want to turn an image into black and white, well, the first word that really comes to our mind is black and white, not grayscale, and that has been changed to reflect that, including the black and white mixer as well, which is no longer the grayscale mix. So a lot of really minor improvement that will make your life much easier. Now the other big thing that we need to know is there's some reorganization, and big reorganization that happens in Lightroom 3 development module happens in the panels, mostly in the development module. So for instance, the detail now covers sharpening, noise reduction, as you can kind of see there. Chromatic aberration has been moved to lens correction, and there's now a new lens correction feature. And you can kind of see here, you can actually do the profile correction or enter your own manual correction as well. We're going to demo that in a little bit here. And also the post crop has now been moved to the effects tab, along with the fact you can add grain to your images. So a couple of good reorganization there, making the program a little bit more, definitely making the program more intuitive. It will require us to get up to speed with it a little bit, but once we've gone there, I think that we're going to be flowing through our images much faster in Lightroom 3. Now the other thing too is that Lightroom 3 now have publish services now built in. It can actually photo stream images directly and export and upload it to Flickr automatically for you. If anybody make any comments on an image on Flickr, it will actually reflect back here within Lightroom. So it's a very quick way to integrate Lightroom with the whole web environment on the social image sharing site that's going on right now. The big thing that I mentioned here is lens correction, and what I'm going to do is actually pull up a demo image here, and we're going to try to find an image that would be appropriate to kind of demonstrate that a little bit. So we're going to actually pull a demo here, and I think this would probably be, oh well, you know what, let's use this one. So what I'm going to do is reset the exposure on this one, a little bit dark here. So we're going to actually go and make some adjustment, brightening up a little bit, and because this image, you know, was photographed at high ISO, as we can see here, this is photographed at ISO 5000. Let's actually take a look in detail, just very briefly here. What can we do with the new luminance noise reduction algorithm? And notice how I can actually reduce the noise quite a bit and still retain most of the detail in here, which is absolutely amazing. What I'm going to do here is zoom out. Again, when I was photographing this, I was pointing my camera up a little bit, so I want to try to correct that. Let's see if we can use the profile correction to do that. The moment you enable the profile correction, what it does is that Lightroom will automatically look through the metadata of the file and see the EXIF data and see what kind of camera, what kind of lens you photograph this with and so forth, and apply that setting to it. You can kind of see there it changes the edge a little bit and kind of, you know, warp the image out a little bit, remove the lens barrel distortion, as you can kind of see there. Now what happened is if we like the vignetting naturally in a lens, we can actually pull that back too. And we'll talk about more of this in a lens correction screencast or in a lens correction short, but it's just kind of like to give you an overview. Now the other thing too is we can kind of see here the buildings are falling over a little bit, so I want to apply one vertical transformation here. So I want to actually go in there and just topple up the building a little bit, make sure they're not falling over. So something like that. And then I can actually do constraint comp, and there you have it. So this is just some basic what you can do here with the new camera, with the new Lightroom 3. Now the other thing too is that you can also export with watermarks now, which is absolutely amazing, because what happened is, you know, our images are going to be showing up everywhere on the web, and you know the metadata that accompany our file for copyright is no longer good enough, and sometimes we just want that watermark. So now what happened is they built in this watermark, the watermark menu and watermark interface dialog here, and you can set up multiple watermarks. For example, I have my watermark here that I already have pre-set up as a graphic. You can actually have a text file in there as well, and there's also going to be a shorts, educational short on this as well, so you can kind of watch that. And the last thing I really like to cover in here is the fact that there's a new slideshow feature in town, and the new slideshow feature, I have to say, it's really neat and it's really amazing in many ways, because one of the things now is that you can actually export your slideshow as a H.264 MPEG file. So what I'm going to do here is actually load these images in. I'm going to go into slideshow, and what I'm going to do is just use this as a background and start here. Now the other thing too is that before, the older version of Lightroom links the music to iTunes. Now for the Macintosh side, at least anyways, now they actually just go with the very easy method. Just pick your folder and pick your music track and just go with it. I can actually go fit to music. In this case, I'm going to give you a quick preview. We're going to set this to about 2 seconds per slide, and we're just going to have it run quickly so you can kind of see what's going on there. So I'm going to click on play here, and it's going to generate the preview. And as you can kind of see here, we have a music going on in the background. It's actually working and also previewing the slideshow as well. Now when we're done with this, what I can do is click on export video, and boom, I can select a different quality video I want to export, name it, and then just go ahead and upload it to the web, re-encode it, or whatever I need to do with it. So again, this is just only the tip of the iceberg of what's new in Lightroom 3. I would like you to check back on our website often and check back for more, because we're constantly recording and we're excited and we're enthusiastic about a lot of these new features, and we're going to post them on there as fast as we can. So definitely check back our website, Rule of Thirds, www.ro3rds.com, and we hope you enjoy this. Thank you so much.